Ready, set, go.
Hey guys, welcome back to Game Boys.
Game Boys?
Game Boys.
Boys.
This is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Maybe you've seen one of these.
Yeah, people really do them. they do them.
They really do.
The tier lists, it's certainly become a trend within the last year or two. Everybody making their tier lists all day long.
Everyone visualizing their objective
Opinions
on art.
Every single tier list is definitive, and if you don't agree with it, you are objectively wrong.
Yeah. I really hope that there are a good subgroup of videos of people putting tier lists into a tier list, like rating the best tier list. Yeah,
I think that's also an important thing. There's so many tier lists out there that it gets really hard to tell.
Well, even with this one, like as you can see, we're doing horror movies today.
Scary movie tier list.
Like there's a selection of like lists of movies that you can find. Some have movies that others don't.
Yeah.
And some don't have movies.
Some have way more movies, and some have like 5 movies, and it's like I haven't seen any of these.
Yeah, but this one I felt had a pretty good selection.
This is the one that Connor found and seemed to be like, a good one. I think there's some movies, like once we're through all of this, we'll say like movies that weren't in there that we would rank in certain places maybe. And there's also several movies on this list that we haven't seen. We're just not going to put them on the list because we don't want to clog up the list. We're just going to leave them down there. But,
with that said, we're starting it off with A Quiet Place.
That's the first one there.
Personally, this one goes in A or B.
I would probably put it in B before A. So I guess one of the things we should also clarify is how we're going to approach all of these. So S tier, those are obviously those are the greatest, the best
pioneers of hot horror movies. Yeah. And groundbreaking.
Or are just personal favorites. Yeah. Whether or not it's actually deemed good by the overall community. It doesn't necessarily matter. If we feel like it's an S tier, it's an S tier.
The irony of this video for me is that I don't like giving my definitive opinion of what is the best or even my favorite.
Well, that's also fair. I am not opposed to this. There are several things that I would put an S tier on this list that I'm sure people hate. Sure. And things that people love that I would maybe put on lower tiers because I didn't feel as personally attached to them.
Yeah, same.
So yes, S are personal favorites, best of the best, the ones that we think are marvels in one way or another. A, I think that's just those are the greats. Those are ones that are good.
Just really great, good, solid
maybe not
movies.
A personal favorite, but good.
Okay.
And B are those really kind of...
It's a good time.
They're a good time. A movie you'd recommend to somebody. It's maybe won't watch more than a couple of times.
Nothing to write a video essay about.
Yeah. C, those are movies.
They're movies.
They're you can get away with a C. I can spend a night watching a C and be like, okay, this is all right. I'll probably not watch this movie again. Yeah. But
they're the kind of movies that you can sit down with someone and you can watch them and maybe have a good time with a little bit of commentary.
Yeah.
You don't feel bad talking over the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Get drunk with friends, watch it, and that's all you really need.
Yeah.
D tier, those are the ones that's man, this movie's not great. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. One of those movies where it's you watch it and you're like, man, why did I make this decision?
I don't know why we have an E tier.
Yeah, we can even just get rid of the E.
Let's get rid of the E
I don't think we
tier.
need that. Get out of here.
You have been chopped.
Get out of here.
Nice.
Yeah, and then F is absolute, just trash.
It's either ethically reprehensible or it's just badly made.
Not good. Just a movie that you just shouldn't watch under any circumstances. And I might even recommend to put a couple movies in F tier that I haven't seen just due to their reputation.
Yeah.
Of movies that's this is a movie not worth watching, and if you come across it, if you're thinking about it, just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that said, let's return to A
Yeah,
Quiet
A
Place.
Quiet Place. I think that I would personally put it in B tier.
Okay.
Like, I think it's good, and that there's some really creative things about it, but I think it still has its flaws.
There's also a debate as to whether it counts as a horror movie.
Yeah,
Like it's like a sci-fi thriller.
Yeah, like, I kind of find that sort of, like, personally, like, I think if you can define it as horror in one way or another, I'm not going to gatekeep.
Sure, of course.
So, like, I would still put it in B tier because it's an enjoyable movie, but a flawed one.
Sure. Okay.
Hereditary.
I put that in A.
I didn't even put it in S.
You think so?
I liked it. Like, I think one of, like, one of those movies that's just, like, going to be a classic no matter what.
That's true.
Like,
that's very true.
I think A is a fair rating. S is where I personally would put it, but if you feel it's more of an A, that's also something
I would put it on the high side of A.
High A, yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna put it on the high side of B.
Yeah, that's also fine by me, I think. I would be like, yeah, it's either a low A or high B.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I put it under maybe A Quiet Place. I think I had more fun with it than A Quiet Place, but oh my god, who's calling me?
Hello? It's
just a text, and it felt like my phone was going nuts.
Right.
That's It Comes at Night. I think a running theme that you'll probably see here is that I've seen more of these movies than Connor.
Yes. I'm not a baby horror movie fan. I'm like a toddler.
Yeah, like I think part of me would feel almost like the more that I watch, the less I've seen. In a way, It's like, there's so many movies.
Yeah.
But It Comes at Night. So basically, this movie was a real controversial one.
Oh.
Not because of its content, but because of its marketing.
Oh.
So a lot of people would be in the same camp of, It Comes at Night isn't a horror movie. Whereas the marketing really played it up as it.
Okay.
Whereas It Comes at Night was much more of a slow burner and a very slowly paced movie. I personally absolutely love it. I would probably put it either A or B tier, like under Hereditary for sure, but definitely above A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
I think it's great. So
I'll put it in A then.
Yeah, under Hereditary, but
yeah,
I love it. That may be a controversial opinion.
Yeah. Get Out. S tier.
S tier. Straight up S tier.
Just not even
a question. No.
Train to Busan, I would put an A.
Yeah, that's one that I haven't seen actually, so I couldn't comment. So
it's just a good, solid, fun zombie movie. Like,
because you were talking to me about it the other day, and it's like, man, I should probably watch this at some point, but I haven't.
It's smartly done. You care about the characters.
Yeah.
The characters are smart.
Yeah.
It's just a really good time.
Hush. I would probably put similar to A Quiet Place or It. I'd probably put it B tier, maybe under It. I thought it was a good movie. It's it's like a home invasion movie.
Oh, okay.
Where the protagonist is deaf, so it adds this whole other sort of like level to it. But I think like it didn't fully commit to the bit in a way.
Oh, okay.
Where there would be like sound cues and things that would happen in the movie that would be like, okay, the main character is not experiencing this sound of something like, of the branch hitting the window behind her or something like that. So, like, why are you using it to jump scare me?
Right.
When, like, the protagonist is not even going to know, like...
It's like inverted dramatic irony.
Yeah. So, like, there were things like that in the movie that frustrated me.
Sure.
But overall, I think it was still, like, a valuable experience and a good movie. So I'd put it probably under It. Like, it's good.
Okay.
Like,
nice.
Yeah.
The Witch.
For me, that's an S tier. I would say.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. I'm a big fan. You don't have to like it. Yeah.
I had a hard time.
Yeah.
I think it was a little overhyped for me.
That's also fair. Yeah, I don't blame you for feeling that way. Like, I personally love it. Like,
right. And it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Which is why I would still put it in A.
Yeah. I'd probably give it a higher A tier, like maybe even over Hereditary, but
yeah.
If you feel like it's under, I feel like a decent compromise.
Yeah.
Creep is one of those movies I have not seen, but would still put in F tier.
Yeah.
The director is a nasty human being.
Oh no.
Who has done horrible things and shouldn't have been allowed to make movies after those things were already come to light.
Shoot, dude.
Yeah. So don't watch that one.
Yeah.
Sure, it might pique your interest to hear about it, but it's just not. Don't. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need to.
Do not.
Cabin in the Woods.
Fucking love Cabin in the
Uh,
Woods. It's so good. Like, again, like, this movie isn't, like, as good as some of these other movies,
No.
but it's just so good. I
It's-
love it.
It goes in A.
Yeah. I would, like, A or even S, just,
I'll
like, for,
put
like,
it,
the
like-
meme value of it. Like,
I'll put it like
yeah, under
Right.
Hereditary, that's perfectly acceptable to me.
perfect. What is this
Yeah.
with the arm and the veins and such?
I'm trying to read it.
Hang on, let me zoom. Gotta pull the zoom. Sorry, guys. Pandorium.
Never seen
Pandora.
it. Yeah.
Neither have I.
I haven't seen it. Yeah. Yeah, hit that reset. Next one, The Strangers. I have not seen.
Okay.
Trick or Treat. I want to see it. I haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it either.
Paranormal Activity. Have you seen it?
No.
Neither have I.
Really?
Yeah. We're hitting the point where where we've got like a whole string of movies now that we
Yeah.
haven't seen.
I'm gonna throw these down at the end.
Yeah, throw them
here.
down at the bottom.
Okay. Strangers haven't seen. Trick
See,
or
like
Treat
Paranormal
haven't
Activity,
seen.
just like it's as a franchise just does not appeal to me.
No.
No.
I really like the concept of found footage.
Yeah.
So I think at some point I'm gonna want to give it a
Yeah.
go.
Like I also like this is another like personal philosophy to do with horror movies is that like I just avoid sequels like the plague unless they're explicitly good.
Sure.
Like if the sequel has like a reputation of being better than the original,
Mhm.
then I'll watch it. I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like I avoid sequels like the plague, and Paranormal Activity
Has
is
way
is
too
a
many.
franchise that just goes whole hog on
Yeah.
the sequels, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh goodness.
But I think there is still something to be said for the first one.
Yeah,
as,
like generally that's what I find is that the first one is the one that like either the first one is like, you know, the one that lays out the formula and the sequel can perfect that formula or like take that concept and do something better with it.
Yeah.
Or the first one is like, you know, the entire thing that you need to define the whole franchise.
Hmm.
So if any Paranormal Activity, I'd watch the first one, but I still don't have like it's not high on my priority list.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. The Host I haven't seen.
Post I haven't seen either. Back of the Line.
Yeah, Back of the Line.
Dawn of the Dead.
I think that's the remake.
Is it?
But like, I think that's the poster for the remake.
Have you seen the original?
I have seen the original,
Okay.
and
Let's
we can
treat it like the
we're
original.
gonna treat it like it's the original movie. And Dawn of the Dead.
Oh wait, I see the one for the original. Later
Oh,
on.
okay. So we can move that one. To the bottom.
yeah.
I haven't seen the sequel, and I heard it's not as good, anyways.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Saw.
Haven't seen Saw.
I want to see the first Saw and none of the other Saw movies.
Yeah.
28 Days Later.
I've heard good things.
See, this is going to be a very controversial opinion that I'm going to have right now.
Mm.
Everybody loves this movie to bits.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's great.
Yeah.
I loved the first half of the movie, and then
Oh,
the second
no.
half, I was just like, man, it sort of went in a different direction that I just
Yeah.
was not feeling.
So like B or C.
I would even put it like in C tier, but everybody will hate me for thinking that. So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, everybody. I know you love 28 Days Later, and it is good. It just like, it didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Like, I was hoping for, I feel like, yeah, it's like you were saying, it's one of those movies that was just overhyped.
Yeah.
And then just when you get there, it's like,
Alright.
yeah, and like, again, for the first half of the movie, up until they get to, well, I guess I won't spoil anything for anybody who hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
It's just like, it gets to a point where there's a kind of a shift in setting, and it just felt like it sort of lost a lot of
Kind of lost momentum.
Yeah, lost momentum and went in a direction that was like uncomfortable in a way I didn't really want it to be.
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
The Wrongus.
Ringu I have not seen, and that's the American version, which I definitely have not seen even more. Final Destination haven't seen.
Okay.
Again, that's another movie where I might watch the first one, but it's
Yeah.
low on my priority list.
Yeah.
Blair
Blair
Witch.
Witch.
Like, have you seen it?
I've seen parts of it.
Parts of it. So Blair Witch is one of those movies where it's like, I wholeheartedly appreciate what it did for the genre. It's very slow, and I think that's
Right.
a general consensus among people.
Yeah.
So like, I might even put it like B tier, low B
Yeah.
tier. Like, it's great. I wholly recommend watching it for an appreciation and understanding of the genre. But like, you got to be ready for a lot of shots of people in the woods doing not anything at all.
Yeah. Just, teenagers and young adults being dumb.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I have not seen Event Horizon.
Nor have I. I didn't know.
That's a high on the list movie too that I should see at some point.
I didn't know it was a horror movie.
Like again, that's one of those ones where I think people are like, no, it's sci-fi.
It's
and
in
it's like,
contention.
don't gatekeep.
Scream.
Have you seen it?
Nope.
I would put Scream probably in A tier.
Yeah.
Sam and I actually just Sam watched it for the first time. For me, it was a rewatch, but it's just so fun.
Yeah.
Scream is one of those movies that's just like goofy fun.
Yeah.
Like,
are we putting it above or below Cabin in the Woods?
I'd put it maybe like just under Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Like it's great. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. Nice.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
I need to see that movie.
Yeah.
I haven't yet.
Just based on the title.
I got it.
Good lord.
I got it.
Evil Dead 2.
S tier.
Yeah.
Sam and I watched that in the same night. We had a triple feature of The Thing,
Yeah.
Scream, and Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2, it's just so like...
It's just a good time.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Like,
I would have put it in A tier just because...
Yeah. I don't blame you for that, but...
Maybe it's because it just takes... It holds so many of the most famous like horror tropes.
Yeah.
That I was just like...
It sort of created them, though, in some ways.
Yeah, like the reason that Cabin in the Woods exists...
is because of Evil Dead 2.
Direct result of Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, and like Evil Dead 2, it's just like... It wastes no time.
No.
Like, you know, the first Evil Dead I would probably put like in A or even B tier.
Mm-hmm.
But like the second one just takes everything from Evil Dead and makes it like 800 times more goofy.
Yeah.
And it just adds so much to the movie. Like this was Sam's first time seeing it. He's like, I'm just like, what is this Looney Tunes shit happening here? And it is. It's so like, it's like, you know, you take everything that in a Looney Tunes cartoon and like make it like actually like how it would end up, and like horror, like it's.
This is the thing that I'm realizing about. This is the thing that I'm realizing about horror movies is that there are different kinds of horror movies. There's the horror movies that are really good because they're genuinely scary or genuinely disturbing in a really well done way.
Yeah.
And then there are movies like Evil Dead 2.
That's just you're not gonna be scared by it.
No.
But you're gonna be like laughing your ass off.
The fact that they're
what
going,
the hell is happening?
It's like the fact that they've just committed balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Like with all the gore and like ridiculousness of it.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to treat a lot of horror movies as comedy.
Yeah. Yeah. And like that's what Evil Dead 2 is. It's like it's sort of like. In some ways, it's so bad it's good, but to the level of being like it's just so good it's good.
Yeah,
you know, like
it's so bad.
Like it's so like it like all of the effects are so corny and it's so goofy and it's so over the top that it's just unironically good. Yeah, yeah. Okay. The Fly. Oh man, that's some good stuff.
I've heard good things.
Like it's a very gross movie, but in a good way.
Are we throwing an A or?
I would probably say A. Like maybe like under. Shoot. Like, I mean, part of me is like under Scream, you know, that's a personal enjoyment. Like, I'm sure, like, The Fly is probably an objectively better movie than Scream, but I enjoyed Scream more, I think. Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. Have you seen it?
No.
This is another controversial opinion that I have. Like, I would put it in D tier. Yeah. People will hate me for that opinion, but I'm like, okay, like listen. There's like 2 good scenes. And it's like, you know, when you have at the very beginning of the movie where Freddy's running along, stretching his arms out, and it's like sort of gets you excited. And you think it's like, oh man, there's going to be all of this like crazy, like weird stuff happening. But then it's just surrounded by all of this crappy drama that just sucks. Like, and the acting is bad. Yeah. I'm sorry to tell you this. I'm sorry to be the one to break this to you, but the acting in Nightmare on Elm Street, other than the guy who played Freddy, is bad.
Oh
like,
no.
I'm sorry. That might be a bad take. You might flame me in the comments for this. I don't care. I didn't like it. You can like it, and you're definitely entitled to like it. You're entitled to disagree with me, and that's okay.
I wonder if this is gonna finally be the video that tears us apart, where we actually pay attention. Like this
you know,
is, this is
the
our,
one that actually gets like, you know, ratioed.
Yeah.
Probably not. Like, you know, I can have my opinion on Nightmare on Elm
Yeah.
Street, and then whoever watching this can have theirs.
Whatever.
Um,
The Thing is going in S.
Yeah, straight up S tier. I might even put it like, I don't know if I could put it, like I might even put it over Get Out.
Yeah.
I would say it's that.
I mean, personally, I would put it
Under Get Out.
under Get
That's
Out
fine
just
with me.
because of
Yeah.
just because of what Get Out was like, the role that it has in
that's
horror
fair.
movies
Yeah.
is more powerful.
Yeah.
I would say than The Thing. The Thing is, in all other respects, just
Yeah.
a masterpiece.
Yeah.
But it didn't really.
It doesn't have the same sort of social commentary,
Yeah.
I guess. Well, like, and that isn't to say that the Thing doesn't have a social
It
commentary.
didn't need to.
Yeah, like, I would say that it says a lot about, like, its era and, like, the paranoia and,
Sure.
you know, the sort of Cold War politics of people
Yeah,
not trusting
that's
each
true.
other. And, like, you know, sort of Red Scare in a way.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I wholly agree and understand with where you're
Yeah.
there.
Poltergeist. I put that in B or A.
Yeah, I
It's
put
a
that
fun
probably,
movie.
probably, like, B over A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a fun movie.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. It's a movie that I think it was a little overhyped for me. Like, I think I wanted a little bit more from it. But like the moments where like stuff is going on, it's like the perfect like sort of horror movie you would expect from Spielberg.
Sure.
But again, I think I wanted a little more from it, so B tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Videodrome.
Like Videodrome is just a weird.
I know nothing about this movie.
Well, it's another. I think it's Cronenberg. Yeah, it's Cronenberg.
Oh boy.
David Cronenberg, and like, God, it's such a weird movie. Like, I put it maybe in C tier underneath of 28 Days Later.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's just like, it's good. It's worth watching. I would say. Like, you know, like you can have a good time watching this movie, but you have to be prepared to just like be like kind of like confused.
Yeah.
Like it's confusing to even put it into words what's going on there.
Okay.
Like it's just a strange movie that is certainly disturbing and is certainly scary, but is above all weird.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. We're gonna end this part here. We're gonna keep
Doing maybe another
we're gonna
part.
go through
maybe another 2 parts depending.
maybe depending on how many of these movies we've seen.
Yeah.
But I'm having fun.
Yeah. Honestly, this is my platform to just talk about the horror movies that I like and my terrible opinions on Nightmare on Elm Street.
Sure. Yeah. And this is where everyone finds out that I have not seen movies.
Yeah. Well, again, like I think that's A-okay. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. If you want to just absolutely rip us a new one
for our opinions.
you can go ahead and do that. We can handle it.
Yeah.
In the comments.
If you have your own tier list that you are would rank these movies,
we value your opinions.
Yeah, like I think it'd probably be a good idea maybe to link to this specific tier list maybe in the description of each one of these parts.
Absolutely.
So people can do their own. Show it to us on Twitter or something.
Yeah, and if you haven't subscribed or rung the bell, those are both things you can do.
Yeah.
We'll see you later.